all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNINews video. And it's a snowy day out and we've got a lot to cover, so let's go on and jump right into it. And first thing I wanted to share with you is some news on the Jakks Pacific front for a second wave of Apex Legends figures. Salome, everybody joining us. So I talked about the first wave a couple months ago, but now we're getting a second wave of 6-inch figures, and this wave is going to include figures based on the game, including Octane, Wraith, and Revenant, I guess is how you pronounce it. I'm not really that familiar with this game, but definitely I think in some of these look pretty cool. The Wraith figure is looking pretty cool. It comes with a machine gun and pistol. The Octane comes with a pistol and a platform, and then the third figure comes with an extra hand, a machine gun, and a shield. So these figures are available for pre-order now at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store, and they are listed with a release in early next year. 3-0 has put up full official images and details for their 1/6 scale Power Ranger figures based on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So I've talked about these figures a couple different times. They are now available for pre-order at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. Now, the figures do not come with unmasked heads. It wasn't entirely clear to me, what accessories these figures would come with the initial images that were released. But we'll just go over it real quick. Now, each of these figures you can buy individually or you can buy them as a full set. And they are doing the Red Ranger, and he's going to come with his Blade Blaster, a holster for the Blade Blaster, and Power Sword. You also are going to get multiple pairs of hands. All the figures come with multiple pairs of hands. For the Pink Ranger, you're going to get a blaster, again, a Blade Blaster and a holster, a power bow. And then with the Black Ranger, he's going to come with his Blade Blaster and a power axe. You're going to get with the Yellow Ranger a Blade Blaster. They all essentially come with Blade Blasters as well. And then the Yellow Ranger is going to have 2 additional daggers. The Blue Ranger, beyond the Blade Blaster, is going to come with his Power Lance, which is trident shaped. And then finally with the Green Ranger, you're going to get his Dragon Shield, Dragon Dagger, Sword of Darkness, and then again a Blade Blaster and holster. So as I said, all of these figures are available for pre-order now at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store, and these are slated with, I would say, about the middle of next year release date. NECA Toys announced this week that they are going to be doing the twins, the Grady twins from the movie The Shining, and this is going to be part of the 6-inch Toonie Terrors line. So they revealed these figures along with their visual guide for the Toonie Terrors. So this week they've also been doing visual guides. They've already, as I'm filming this, have released visual guides for the Toonie Terrors, as well as Godzilla, which is a line that is, at least for now, ending with NECA Toys. And then just today they announced or released the visual guide for their Predator figures. And with the Predator figures, we can see their blacked out images on the visual guide, but we can see upcoming figures include the Ultimate Warrior, the Ultimate Shaman, the Ultimate Boar Predator, and Ultimate Snake Predator, and Ultimate Elder Predator. So those look to be the next batch of Predator figures coming up in the line. And again, you can go to NECA's website and get high-res images of all these visual guides if you want to use them for wallpaper on your PC or what have you. And no other information on these figures at this time. Share with you is just news that beyond just the Krang figure, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series Krang and Android Body that I told you was starting to hit Target shelves on Monday. Also hitting Target shelves now is the Splinter and Baxter 2-pack. Now, it seems for the most part these are only hitting on the West Coast, but look for them to start hitting across the country in the very near future. I will put the DPCI number for the Splinter and Baxter 2-pack in the video description below. These images come via MCU Collector 24, who does have a review of it up on his channel, so I would recommend that you check that out. And these are not listed, at last time I checked at least, these have not been listed. Neither this or the Krang have been listed on the Target website, but I do suspect that will happen probably in the next week or so. Storm Collectibles has gone on and released official images for their upcoming Golden Axe 112 scale Death Adder figure. So I talked about this last week when they released just the one image, but now we've got more detailed images. The figure is said to stand about 10.3 inches tall. He's going to come with his axe and a couple of different pairs of hands, so he doesn't have a ton of accessories, and he does have a pretty hefty price tag. He's going to cost you about $120, it looks like. The figure is available currently for pre-order at Amazon.com. I'll put a link to it. It's an affiliate link down in the video description below if you want to check it out. Again, pretty hefty price tag, but if you're a fan of Golden Axe, this is one you probably will want to check out. Instagrammer Toy Shiz found these new Titan class G.I. Joe figures on the shelf at his local Target this week. So these had not been announced by Hasbro, but it kind of makes sense. They do these kind of basic 5 points of articulated 10-inch scale figures for all their major lines, action figure lines. These are really geared for the kids, but they are doing them for G.I. Joe, and it looks like the first three that they are releasing are Duke, Snake Eyes, and Storm Shadow. Jazzwares just today has released official images for their third wave of their AEW Unrivaled collection. So this wave is going to include the following figures, and if I butcher any of these names, I do apologize. They are not wrestlers I am terribly familiar with. I really have not yet watched any AEW. I probably should. I've been hearing good things about it. But the first figure is Darby Allin, spelled with an I guess, and there's also going to be a rare chase version, a 1 in 500 release, which is, differs from the regular release. They're doing Orange Cassidy. They're doing Pac. Rio, I don't know how you pronounce her name, but she is the chase of the line. And then from the Young Bucks, they're doing both Matt and Nick Jackson. And I don't have any specific release dates on these figures, but I believe these should be going up for pre-order in the fairly near future, if not already. Hot Toys this week released official images for their upcoming Mandalorian-based Moff Gideon figure. So I've been seeing a lot of mixed reactions on this figure in regards to the head sculpt. And I got to be honest, looking at these images, with some of the images, I think the head sculpt looks pretty good, close to how he appears in the series. And then from other angles, not so much. So I don't know. If this was a Hasbro figure, I think it would be a pretty good job. But, with the higher priced Hot Toys figure, I think people do kind of expect more. Now, sometimes Hot Toys does tweak these things, so it's possible the final version could differ from what we're seeing here. But he is in his armor. He's got a soft goods cape. He has a blaster. He has the Darksaber, of course, which has two versions of the blade, just a normal extended blade, and then one that looks like he's waving the saber in the air, which is kind of cool. So, if you're a fan of The Mandalorian, which many of you are, I think this is one you're going to want to check out. It is available for pre-order now at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. And I don't know, with some of these images, we can see those Death Troopers in the background. So my guess is those will also be figures that Hot Toys will soon be releasing. Okay, and then the final bit of news I have for you guys today is on the Marvel Legend front. So as I promised, if you've been watching like my live streams and stuff, I told you I was going to reveal what, based on the intel that I have, all the figures, all the regular release figures that should be coming in this upcoming Iron Man themed wave. Now, this is rumor. This is not something that's been officially confirmed by Hasbro. Hasbro's not even officially confirmed that there is an Iron Man wave coming. They showed us the classic Ultron figure in their last live stream, but they didn't tell us how it was going to be released. But again, my intel suggested that figure is going to be part of an Iron Man wave. And then there are 6 other regular release figures in the wave. And so based on my intel, those other figures are going to include the character Darkstar. Now, I don't know, with all of these images that I'm showing you are just for reference purposes. I've not seen the figures, so they could vary. I don't know the exact versions. Like, I don't know if Darkstar will be featured in a more modern costume or with her more classic look. If I had to guess, or I guess maybe wishful thinking, I'd be more of her classic look. But again, I really have no idea. Then the Iron Man modular armor, I believe it's going to be based on the one that is shown here, which is one I think many people have been wanting. Ironheart is one that is listed for this wave. A Guardsman. And based on the intel, it wasn't entirely clear if this was just going to be a regular Guardsman or maybe, a variation like the Curtis Elkins. Now, the Curtis Elkins is just purely my speculation. If it's not a regular Guardsman, then something like Curtis Elkins from the Jury would make most sense to me, even though technically I would consider that more in keeping with a Venom wave, since that's a character that appeared in the Venom comics. But, I could see them, kind of pushing him over here possibly. But again, I don't know if it's just going to be a regular Army Builder Guardsman or a more specific version of the Guardsman that has been featured at some point in the comic book. So that's something we'll have to wait and see. The next listing was simply stated it as hologram, but the assumption here is that it is an Iron Man figure. And if it's an Iron Man figure, my best guess would be it's probably going to be based on the more recent Model 68 version that's been seen in the comics. That's actually listed as hologram armor, but that's just purely speculation. All the intel suggested was just the word hologram, so we'll have to wait and see on that one as well. Then Iron Man Stealth, a Stealth Iron Man figure. I have no idea which version. There's been many different Stealth armors featured in the comics throughout the years. We've even already gotten a Stealth Iron Man figure recently from Hasbro with a more modern armor. My best guess here is that they would probably take like the classic Alex Ross Iron Man figure that they recently released and just repaint it as I think that was essentially that armor with the Stealth was the original Stealth armor. So that's my best guess, but I really have no idea what specific version of the Stealth armor that they're going to be doing for this wave. So again, we'll have to wait and see on that. And then for the Build-A-Figure, I do assume there is one. I believe this is going to be a regular release wave that's got 7 figures in it. Normally retro waves have 6, and there was nothing indicating this would be a retro wave. So I do think, I can't swear to it 100%, but I do think this will be a regular release wave, which would, we can assume there will be a Build-A-Figure, but I have no intel on the Build-A-Figure, so all I could do is just give you my best guess, or again, really more wishful thinking. I'm really hoping it's going to be based on a Build-A-Figure based on the 5th version of Crimson Dynamo. I did not like the version that they did in the Black Widow wave, so I would love to see that 5th version. That's my favorite version of the Crimson Dynamo armor. Another cool one would be Titanium Man, but keeping in mind that we're getting here pretty soon a classic Titanium Man in the Marvel Select line from Diamond Select Toys, which I think will probably work pretty decently with your Marvel Legends. I would much rather see a Crimson Dynamo figure. Of course, it could be anything. Like I said, I have no intel on the Build-A-Figure, so again, we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Okay, so that's it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about. Let me know in the comments section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, stay safe out there and have a great day.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.